98. That's the mark.
Thanks.
Ethan and Preston.
How's it going, Preston Outdoors fans? I'm your host here, Ethan Preston, and in today's video, we're going to be breaking down my tackle, the rod, reel, line, and lure combinations of what I had success on in my previous two videos. I mentioned it in the first and second video that I'd be doing a recap video of the Mississippi River, the Bassmaster Central Open on the Mississippi River, all across Wisconsin. So got a couple rods here on the deck of the boat, and let's dive into it. So since this was my first ever Bassmaster Open that I had the opportunity to be a co-angler on, it was gonna, it's gonna present some challenges. Fishing out of the back of the boat, not something I have normally done, and being able to fish behind guys that do this for a career. It was a lot of fun and a great learning experience. I need to get a shout out right away to my boater on day number one, Andy Rybar. Great guy from Minnesota himself. Answered a lot of questions I had on the Mississippi River in general. Great dude to be with. And then on day number two, Russell Paskett, who's from Texas, and again, another great guy. Again, he actually called the shot for this fish right here. Jesus. As you can see, ended up being a 4-pounder. It was 4 pounds even when I got to the scales. It was the biggest fish on day number two for a co-angler. Again, I want to thank those guys a lot. I had a lot of fun. Couldn't have made it two better boaters to have on my first event doing this. Going in, I watched a lot of videos. A lot of it was frogging, and that's what I expected. So this is kind of what got me my fish, my big fish, and what had really put me in position to try and fish on Saturday, basically on day number two. This is the KastKing Speed Demon on a KastKing Para-G2 7.4 heavy rod. If you guys follow me on any social medias or anything, you'll know that this is a rod that I rely on a lot. Flipping jigs, throwing Texas rigs, even flipping Texas rigs, stuff like that, frogs, any of my topwater stuff. I have this with a 65-pound KastKing Super Power braid. I was throwing a Booyah pad crusher in this yellow color, as you can see here. I'll have a video popping up in the cards where I talk about the difference between a traditional walking frog and then a popping frog, a video I did last year. But this is my setup. This is my favorite color frog that I use for many reasons that I go into that video, so it'll be popping up here on the card, so you can check that out. Brought this fish in, handled it really, really well, and then we'll go into the MVP of the tournament for me on day one and day number two. So MVP of the tournament for me, got a lot of work on day number one, and even flipped it a lot of work on day number two. Just didn't get that those bites that we needed, except this fish right here.
I suppose we did sit on that current break pretty good last time. I don't know if he's big, but
hey, that's a keeper.
I just need a keeper.
So that smallmouth was key for me for day number two for my keeper. That ended up being my only, or the two fish that I brought in, but besides that big one. So day number one, Andy said we were going to be flipping cut bank. He said Texas rig, stuff like that, and I wasn't sure. He said cover, so I wasn't sure if we'd be punching, that kind of thing. So what I did with is probably a little bit overkill, but I had great success and actually gave me a chance to use this rod a little bit more, and I will be doing a full review. So here it is. This is the KastKing, go the right way here, KastKing Speed Demon Pro punching rod, 711. A big rod, of course. I got the KastKing Speed Demon on there, and I have 65-pound KastKing Crixus braid on there. Go down to the business end of this bad boy, and what I got here is a bobber stop with a peg, and we have a You can see it right here. A 1/2 ounce Swagger Tackle tungsten flipping weight. That's a 4/0 VMC straight shank flipping hook on there, attached with a snell nut. But like I was saying, the Swagger Tackle tungsten weight allowed me to feel the hard bottom. If I was using lead or something like that, you really wouldn't feel where the current had pushed and made a clay bottom or even some rock in there. You'd feel the thump thump of some smaller rock, and that's where those fish wanted to push. So anytime I'd fall, I mean, you get some bites when it was falling, but anytime I drag it or slightly hop it and I felt a really hard bottom, this tungsten, sending it up straight through the casking braid, and then I'll get into it a little bit here to the rod, I really knew that was kind of the zone. And they may have only been, you know, this big. I'd 1 thump, 2 thump. Okay, then I'd flip in there on the left side of it or the right side of it, and it wasn't real big, but that kind of let me know that was in the juicy area to where, get ready, there could be something here. A lot of times there wasn't, but anytime I got most of my bites, I'd say 9 out of 10 times I got a bite, it was because I was feeling a hard spot on the bottom that the fish were really relaying to. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out day number 1 and day number 2. They'll be popping up in the cards here for the tournament itself. And in the description below, you'll see a promo code for Swagger Tackle. It's PO for Preston Outdoors, PO15. You go and get some of their tungsten weights and stuff from them. Use that and you get 15% off your purchase. All the casting gear will be tagged below with Amazon links, stuff like that. Any other questions you guys want, leave in the comments below. It was a huge learning experience for me, and I kind of had to learn by the seat of my pants because I'd never been to this place before, and it really opened my eyes about current fishing and how bass relate to structure and, you know, all this other stuff that I don't want to bore you guys with, but I really learned a lot. And then fishing behind somebody, I really encourage you, if you guys haven't done any co-angling stuff, go ahead and try that, even on some upper level stuff to where the pros in front of you are really good. They're really good. And so you got to adjust your skills to fishing behind somebody and fishing more, maybe more finesse stuff that I don't normally do. So it really opened my eyes like that. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for tuning into the video. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon so you get a notification every time I upload a video. Check me out at Preston Outdoors on Facebook and Preston Outdoors on Instagram. We just hit 1,000 followers on Instagram. Really pumped about that. Didn't think we'd get there anytime or even this soon. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Again, any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll make sure to get back to you to anything you got, or if you just like the video, leave a comment saying something like that. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Tune in next time to Preston Outdoors.